He was the last person anyone would have expected to believe the gospel. Saul, a Pharisee of Pharisees, a Hebrew of Hebrews, a master of the law, a disciple of the best of Israel's teachers, a man whose self-righteousness blinded him to his need for true righteousness. He was the persecutor of the church, on a mission to eliminate the followers of Jesus, the man they claimed to be God. They were blasphemers, and blasphemy carried one punishment: death. Saul was on his way to Damascus when suddenly a light shone in his eyes and blinded him. A voice followed, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" "Who are you?" he asked. "I am Jesus, the one you are persecuting." Jesus commanded him to go to Damascus, where Saul waited for 3 days, sitting in darkness, neither eating or drinking. Then a man named Ananias came to him. Jesus had appeared to him and told him Saul would be his chosen instrument to take his name, to proclaim the gospel among the Gentiles, the people who were outside God's covenant with Israel. Ananias prayed for him, and something like scales fell off Saul's eyes, and he could see, and not only with his physical eyes. He understood who Jesus was for the first time. He understood the law he had devoted his life to in greater clarity than ever before, that the righteousness he sought couldn't be gained by his keeping the law, but could only be given by another, a man free from sin, a man free from the curse, a man who could defeat death, a man who was God. From that moment, Saul, the least likely convert, the persecutor of Christ, became his greatest proclaimer. In synagogues and in public squares, among Jews and Gentiles, he reasoned from the scriptures and redirected the wisdom of the world to spread the gospel through the ends of the earth. He was arrested, he was beaten, he was mocked and persecuted, but he persevered. He had seen the truth that had set him free. And he was consumed with a passion to see others set free as well, to see God's promise to Abraham fulfilled, and that all nations would be blessed through his seed. Through Jesus of Nazareth, the Messiah, God's promised rescuer. Saul was the last person anyone would have expected to believe the gospel. But God delights in using unexpected people to carry out his plans for the world. An elderly couple had a child. A slave became a king's advisor. A shepherd boy became a king. A virgin girl gave birth to a baby. A crucified man gave life. Now, a persecutor became a proclaimer. No one would have expected it. Certainly not the people Saul was persecuting. But eventually they began to trust him. They saw that God was at work in him. They saw that their foe had become their family. And through the years, God has taken many of the most vocal opponents of Christ and transformed them into the most fervent witnesses of the gospel. This is the wisdom of God. Wisdom that seems foolish to the world, but displays God's glory. Wisdom that shows that no heart is too hard, no person is too far out of God's reach that he cannot renew them. Wisdom that transforms ordinary people, broken people, sinful people, the people no one would ever expect, people like you and me, and invites them to be a part of his mission of redeeming and restoring the world. Wisdom that gives us confidence as we carry out that mission, knowing that God can transform even the hardest of hearts.